Right now on Hoosier News Source, a woman is found dead on Bloomington's south side. We have the latest on what police are saying.
And IU continues to face backlash over the stances it's taken on the Israel-Hamas war. We have a look at the most recent round of protests. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Sidney Moore.
And I'm Emma Gladstone. The university has faced significant backlash since October over the stances it's taken on the Israel-Hamas war.
Our Carson Johnson takes a look at the most recent round of protests. Carson?
Thanks, guys. This weekend, students took to campus to protest administrative decisions made by IU. Take a look.
Bloomington community members gathered around campus over the weekend to protest several administrative decisions made by IU in recent weeks regarding the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Students and community members marched across campus from the Fine Arts Plaza to Bryan Hall on Friday to protest the cancellation of a Palestinian art exhibit. The exhibit, crafted by IU alum Samia Halabi, was a collection of abstract paintings titled Samia Halabi, Centers of Energy. The exhibit was supposed to be on display in the Eskenazi Art Museum from February 10th until June, but was canceled by museum director David Brenneman on December 20th. The primary reason for the cancellation was fear that it could incite violence on campus, but according to Halabi's grandniece, Madison Gordon, Brenneman also cited her Instagram posts as a reason for the cancellation.
They canceled this for unspecified security concerns, which is something that college campuses are using a lot just to silence Palestinian voices, which is honestly ridiculous at this point.
In addition to the cancellation of Halabi's exhibit, students were protesting the suspension of an IU professor and the recent announcement of IU investments into the U.S. Department of Defense.
But it's very obvious that they are censoring Middle Eastern professors who are speaking out for Palestine, like Professor Sino, and artists like Halabi.
Professor Sino was suspended until the fall semester for violating university policy by incorrectly filling out a room reservation form for an event with the Palestinian Solidarity Committee, for which he was a faculty advisor. During the weekend's demonstrations, protesters shouted things like "Art Not Bombs," "Stop the Censorship," and "Shame on Witten."
Regardless of what you think about anything else going on, the Palestinian people are suffering, and silencing their voices right now is probably one of the most irresponsible things you can do as an institution. So I'm here to protest that because this is my school and I don't stand for it.
While Halabi's exhibit in the Eskenazi Museum might be canceled, a new exhibit by the artist titled Samia Halabi Uncanceled is coming to the Buskirk-Chumley Theater on February 17th. Emma and Sidney, back to you.
Carson, thank you. To our other top stories now, Bloomington police found a woman dead in a ditch on Sunday.
The body was reported by a man who was going by the area in a car. It happened on South Walnut Pike. The coroner identified the woman as 34-year-old Jane Sanders. The cause of death remains unknown, but the coroner said Sanders was experiencing homelessness. An autopsy is scheduled for this week.
This is the third reported death of a person suffering from homelessness in 2 months. The two people you see there are facing murder charges in two separate cases from a now cleared homeless encampment. Police say Craig Pearson killed a man with a machete on December 7th. He told police it was to avenge recent thefts from tents in the encampment. And earlier this month, police say Evelyn, also known as Shorty, shot and killed a man during an argument. The victims and suspects in both cases were homeless.
A Bloomington woman is facing charges for the death of an Orange County inmate in December. 31-year-old Sarah Shipman turned herself into police last Wednesday after a warrant was issued for her arrest. On December 30th, detectives were called to the Orange County Jail to investigate an inmate that was found dead. Shipman was arrested on charges of dealing in a controlled substance resulting in a death, dealing a Schedule I drug, penal juvenile facility, trafficking with an inmate, and a felony OWI.
A Bloomington man was handed 3 years in prison as part of a plea agreement in a 2022 sexual assault case. Darius McCormick agreed to plead guilty to sexual battery in exchange for a rape charge being dropped. Court documents say that in July 2022, McCormick met a woman through Facebook and the two hung out at the victim's home, where later that evening he sexually assaulted the woman after repeatedly being told to stop. McCormick was arrested for a separate rape case in 2021 and given 1 year of probation.
We will respond. We will respond strongly. We will respond at a time and place of our choosing.
Still ahead on Hoosier News Source, U.S. officials are reacting after American soldiers were killed in a drone attack. How the U.S. plans to respond.
And a major buyout between two U.S. airlines is now up in the air. The reason why on the other side of the break.
You're watching IU Student Television.
The Pentagon has named the 3 American soldiers killed in a drone strike in Jordan over the weekend. 46-year-old Sergeant William Rivers, 24-year-old Specialist Kennedy Sanders, and 23-year-old Specialist Brianna Moffett all died. U.S. officials say the drone strike is believed to have been launched by an Iranian-backed militia group. President Biden says that he has made a decision on how the U.S. will respond and holds Iran responsible for the attack.
I do hold them responsible in the sense that they're supplying the weapons to the people who did it.
More than 40 people were injured in the incident. President Biden says he's willing to accept tougher measures to secure the U.S. border with Mexico. It comes as Capitol Hill debates immigration policies. House Speaker Mike Johnson warned the border deal in the Senate would be dead on arrival in the House. Biden told the House Republicans securing the border would be a win for America. Former President Donald Trump has urged the House Republicans to reject any border deals, saying his party should avoid giving President Biden a political victory in an election year.
Tax season is officially underway. The IRS is now processing tax returns for 2023. U.S. taxpayers have until April 15th to file their returns. Those who miss the deadline could face fines unless they ask for an extension. JetBlue Airways might be backing out of a major deal to buy out Spirit Airlines. A federal judge blocked the $3.8 billion deal. JetBlue says they may reconsider appealing a week after the two companies, and they would appeal the ruling. Spirit said in its own filing that it disagreed with JetBlue and said there's no reason to terminate the deal. Next on Hoosier News Source, a salmonella outbreak has been linked to an exotic pet. We'll tell you what to know.
And when will this cold, rainy weather finally go away? Alyssa has the answer when we come back.
Hoosier Sports Night, your source for Hoosier athletics.
Measles cases are on the rise. That's according to an alert issued by the CDC. Health providers to be on alert following several outbreaks, largely among unvaccinated children. Nearly 24 cases of the virus have been reported since December. Vaccination rates are down in the U.S., and officials say they have seen similar upticks in measles cases around the world. Attention bearded dragon owners, you may want to think twice about kissing and snuggling your pet. The CDC has recently linked a rare strain of salmonella to the popular reptile. The bacteria can end up on their skin, and experts say owners should wash their hands properly after handling the lizards. Turning to weather now, it has been rainy day after day and cold too.
The question is, will it stick around? Alyssa is in with the forecast. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, guys. Thank you. So I do have some good news. We've got some peaks of sunshine coming through today, which is good considering all the cloud and rain that we've been seeing these past couple days. However, we will see mostly cloudy conditions throughout the day, except for as we fall into nighttime, some of those clouds will dissipate, and it'll bring some clear skies throughout the night. For temperatures, we've got temperatures sticking around 40 degrees throughout the day. We've got lower temperatures at noon, around 38. They warm up into midday with 41 degrees at 4 p.m. and then fall again as we get into nighttime. We've got those 36 degrees at 8 p.m. Now, IU basketball is playing Penn State on Saturday at home, Assembly Hall, and it'll start at noon. Prior to game time, we've got some temperatures at 34 degrees and just a few clouds in the sky at 9 a.m. As we move towards game time, we will have some of those clouds dissipating with perfectly sunny skies as tip-off begins. Those sunny skies will continue as the game is ending, which is great news. Beautiful day for basketball. Temperatures, same thing, beautiful temperatures all throughout the day. They warm up as the game starts and continue to get warmer, nearly 50 degrees by the time that the game is over and everyone's walking out of the doors. As for our 7-day forecast, we've got some really beautiful temperatures for this time of year. 50 degrees in January is pretty unheard of. We've got the coldest temperatures of the week on Wednesday today, high of 43. We actually go up 10 degrees in our high temperature. Tomorrow we've got 53 degrees, and then our high of 50 for the rest of the week, 5 days in a row, which is again pretty unheard of for January. Those low temperatures do stick around 30 degrees. We've got some temperatures lowering into the 20s as we get into next week. The conditions are pretty cloudy today, probably tomorrow and Friday. The sun peaks out again on Saturday, game day, and continues as we get into Sunday. And then we have some more cloudy conditions coming in on Monday and Tuesday. Enjoy your warmer than usual week, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Next in sports, the Indiana basketball teams are heading in separate ways this season. We'll give you the details of one lopsided win and one frustrating loss. We'll be back in a few.
What's Up Weekly with Callie Lichter and Lucy Kellison, Wednesdays on IUSTV.
Welcome back. It has been a tale of two teams for the Indiana men's and women's basketball team. We start with the women. Indiana returned home to a face-off against Northwestern at Assembly Hall. The Indiana women's basketball team dominated the court Sunday with a final score of 100-59. The Hoosiers started off fast scoring in the game's first 4 points and having a 16-2 point lead in the first 6 minutes of the game. Mackenzie Holmes scored a total of 27 points, and 5 other Hoosiers scored over 10 points throughout the night. For Lanie Beaumont, she had a career high with 11 points scored. Now to break down the recent matchup between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Illinois Fighting Illini in men's basketball. The Hoosiers came up a little bit short with a final score of 70-62. Indiana has been struggling offensively all season, and this was shown again throughout the game. Illinois secured crucial offensive rebounds, giving them second chance opportunities late in the second half. The Hoosiers were playing without their top rebounder and second leading scorer, center Kaylee Warr, who missed his second game with an ankle injury. Indiana struggled offensively outside the paint, especially from long distance. This was the first time in 13 years the men's team didn't convert on any of their three-point shots.
It's a fine line in winning on the road, man. I mean, you got to do almost everything right. Like make your free throws. Don't go 0 for 9 from shooting a three-point ball. And we had good looks. I mean, we just didn't make them.
Indiana needs to regroup for their matchup against Iowa Hawkeyes.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks for watching this week's Hoosier News Source.
As always, be sure to follow us on social media and check out IUSTV.com to stay up to date on all of the latest news, weather, and sports.
Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you back here next week.